What do you think Ilona brings out in you that we haven't seen in the past seasons?
I know she brings out on my less serious side. The first time we ever dance in it, though, is 2 hours before the show.
Dwight had the basketball.
Yeah, like the basketball.
Anna had the...
I don't think that was her choice. I don't think the producers...
She brought that really cool ankle bracelet.
She brought that one from home.
Where do you keep your mirror ball trophy?
Oh, I have it right in my main...
It's in my car.
Yeah,
It's on the dashboard.
It's actually right here.
9 seasons. How do you even put that into words for what you've done?
Well, that's I didn't think of it like that. I'm honored. I'm so grateful that I've been there for so long. You know, I'm still one of the younger ones now. We got new young pros, but you know, I'm only 30 years old, and I feel like I've become so comfortable on the show. But yeah, it's truly, after 9 seasons, it's still a blessing. After each season, every time they call me to pick me up and be back on the show, I'm like, oh, thank God.
Is it still a shock to you?
Oh yeah, we never. I don't expect it. Like, I hope for it, and you know, I want it, but you never just like expect it's yours, you know? So like every year that I get called back, I'm so grateful.
Where are you when you got the phone call for this season?
Oh, I was in my kitchen, sitting, just waiting for the phone call.
Oh, you were?
Just waiting. And you know the saying, a watched phone doesn't ring? It is true. No, I think I just got home. It was at like 11 o'clock in the morning. So I just got home from the gym, was like starting to cook, and then I saw my phone ring, and it's our casting director. I'm like, oh, stop everything. And then you never know just what the call is, but when it is like, hey, we want you back, it's such just a release and a relief of pressure.
Totally.
Yeah.
This is being recorded the day after show day.
Yeah, premiere.
Day
after premiere.
You've seen the competition. You've seen how your partner handles the lights, the glitz, the glam, the crowd. How do you feel? How comfortable do you feel going forward with Ilona?
I'm having the best time. She's awesome. Ilona is unlike any partner I've had in 9 seasons. You know, she is just so authentically herself. She's awesome. She is a star. She's an Olympic athlete. It was crazy because, you know, when you hear the clicks, have you been to a show?
No, not live.
You'll have to come to a show.
I'd love to.
So there's like 4 clicks. It goes click, 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 and then the music starts. And that's like for you to just hone in because it is so loud. We started click, 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 click. She goes dun 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 dun, and she does her little let's go girls. The ballroom erupted. I was like, I can't hear the music now. Everyone was just so loud and just clapping for her, and we looked at each other, and I was off camera and she was on it, and she's like, oh, like it was amazing. It was electric. Like the audience is awesome. It just such an energy. She, I think, cultivates that. She like has such good energy about her that I feel like everyone wants to root for her.
My wife cried watching her performance.
It was that bad?
It was so empowering for women. She felt such a connection, so attached to her.
I wish I could say I had anything to do with it, but I didn't. That's just who Ilona is, honestly. She is just such a special person, and the fact that I'm partnered with her, I have a lot of pressure of just like, I want to make sure she feels so beautiful and confident because she is, and she is such an inspiration to so many people that I'm like, okay, just make her feel good and let her be her, because that's what's so good about her. She's so genuine. And like, I don't want to just make her be like a dancer and point your toe and do this. So I'm really trying to make sure that, you know, she comes out there and feels herself.
She's very quickly become a fan favorite, and you guys scored right at the top of the leaderboard. Top 3?
No, we didn't. You got confused with somebody else.
No, I thought you did, didn't you?
No, we were towards, not the bottom, but like bottom middle.
Does that give you any promise going forward?
You know, honestly, the promise I have is that this show is, the core of the show is taking celebrities who've never danced before and make them dancers. So it's the first week, you know, we don't need to be the best because it's about growing and getting there and learning and going on a journey. And I think it's going to be, you know, people want to see her succeed. I want to see her succeed. I know she's going to grow every single day because from last week, from yesterday, from the day before, every day she gets so much better. And it's just, I get to see it firsthand. I'm just so happy now that America gets to see it as well.
You just came straight from rehearsals?
Literally just straight from rehearsals.
So you started now week 2 dance.
Yes. At 9 a.m. we were at the studios, not even 12 hours from yesterday, and we started our second dance.
How does she feel switching now to a new style, a new routine?
That's a good question. Today, always, the first day after always happens so fast because you have to do interviews for an hour.
About last night
And this new dance. So it's like a recap of yesterday's or of last week's dance and then this week's dance, setting it all up. How do you feel? Are you ready for the next week? And then it's like, okay, now we got to learn. And so you only get 4 hours a day. And you take away 1 hour for that interview. And so you're like, oh God, we gotta do this now. So we don't get a lot of time, and you only get like 5 days to learn this dance as opposed to we had like 2 weeks to learn the first one. So it's like everything is a lot faster. I think, when does this come out?
Tomorrow.
Oh, okay. So I can't say what dance it is yet.
Do you want me to wait?
No, it's fine. I don't care. So it's Oscars night. So everyone's doing like a movie, and we're doing a really good movie, and it's really fun. And yeah, no, I'm really excited for the dance. I think she's going to be great at it. And we're doing some lifts. So it's going to be cool.
Do you have to go faster now because you have as much time to prepare?
Yeah, it's like you got to go faster, and it's almost like, every dance is different for each celebrity. So maybe one dance, it's a cha-cha's easy. Maybe one dance, a tango's easy. Like for each celebrity, it's different. And because it's still really early on in the competition, I'm still getting used to what Ilona is good at. And so, in 4 weeks down the line, hopefully we're still there. I'll be like, oh, I know she can do this move. I know that she can do this move. We're still learning every move that it's like, okay, let's try this. If it doesn't work, that's okay. I got backup plan. I don't come in and like, this is the dance. Like I really come in and like, what do you feel good doing? I want to cater the dance to her. I want to make sure that she feels comfortable because in 6 days now, she's going to be live on TV doing it again. So it's all about making those decisions and like having the preparation, but then also being able to adjust.
Was there any dance experience prior?
No.
None.
No, but she's
an athlete.
She sometimes does like tap dancing. And I'm like, where is that from? No, she's an athlete, a monster athlete. I think any sport she touches, she's just got the mentality of like, I'm going to be the best. And hopefully dancing's like that too. But dancing's also fun. It's like one of those weird things where it is a sport, but it's also an art form. So you got to express yourself while you're doing physical activity. So you got to really marry the two together.
There's an interview out there where she says she has to tone down her power a little.
Her power is incredible. And it's almost, I don't even want to tone down the power. I want to match her fluidity and softness with the power, because I think power is great. I think she demands attention. She goes out there. She knows her body very well. She's an Olympic athlete, and that's, I just want to make sure that she also feels her hips.
Did you watch the performance back last night?
Yeah.
How many times?
A few times. I watched it right after we did it. We film it. So like got off stage, we watched it back together, and it was great. First time out there is so scary, but she handled it like a professional, and she's awesome.
Do you think her performing in front of a crowd for her career helps with her?
So I thought about it. It's a little different. Like when a gymnast is on the show, or when a gymnast is in the Olympics, they have a routine that they set, and they do their routine, right? Whether it's a floor routine or uneven bars or pommel horse. On rugby, she's out there, she plays sevens, so she's out there for 14 minutes, and you have to make decisions. You're not doing something that's set, so you're using your mind a lot differently, as opposed to when you're dancing, you're doing something that you rehearsed, and you have to do it the very best time live. So it's a little different, I think, not pressure, it's a little different of a performance. You got to really, instead of like making game time decisions, you're like, okay, I've practiced all week for this, let's execute it. And so I think now that we've done it once, we understand that. But like, it's hard to explain. Like, a football player is also different. You know, they practice plays, but in game time, you might adjust something here. You know, when you're doing the show, you're trying not to adjust anything. You're trying to just do what you practiced.
She's also doing it with one person, not a team.
Yeah.
So is that something that she's like actively adjusting to, that she's just focusing on you?
Maybe. I think it's great that she has team experience. I think she's my first partner that's been part of a team. I did have a figure skater, but again, she was a soloist, you know, Marai Nagasu. But like, somebody that she understands team camaraderie and you know, that connection. So I think that really helps.
How important is the team building for the two of you?
I mean, we spend 4 hours a day with each other, and like, we luckily have so much fun with each other that it feels easy being a team. You know, I can't speak for other people, and you know, in the past, like, you're not always the best friends with your partners, but like, we work out together, we eat together, we like recover together. So we're having a really good time together.
And that really translates for the fan votes, at least, to see you guys are actually friends.
Yeah, I think so. And I think that comes across. We genuinely have fun with each other. And so like, when we're in the skybox or like talking afterwards, like, we're just ourselves, our goofy selves.
Can you break down that reaction when she walked in the room for you?
Oh, I mean, I was stoked. Like,
did you already know she was part of the show?
I heard rumblings this year more than ever. I was like, I don't want to know anything. I don't want to know who's on the show. I just want to meet my partner and like not think about what this person's doing or that person. So I was like, don't tell me any of the celebrities. And then I kind of heard more rumblings and I was like, okay, she's freaking awesome. She's hilarious. She tries hard. She has such a good sense of humor. When she walked in, she was exactly that. Like, I think what's even more interesting about her is, as real as she is on social media, she's even more real in like, she's just that. Like, you get exactly what you think you get. And she's awesome.
How would you break down those 4-hour blocks of training together?
It really goes by so fast.
Is it all work, 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 work?
No, we work, we sit, I eat some bananas and peanut butter. I come out of the room, I come back in, and my breath smells like peanut butter. Okay.
You guys are getting so close.
Yeah. No, but we like, sometimes we film TikToks, you know. She's very, obviously, so good at the social media game. I said this yesterday. She doesn't have anything in her drafts. When we film something, she just posts it.
Oh, it's just up.
She's like, we filmed it, let's post it. I'm like, okay. Yeah. And it's great. Like, I think it's just like all real time. And I think that's what's so good about her. She's real time. She's authentic. She's, what you see is what you get.
Did you lean into the social media stuff last season?
I tried to. It's hard. Like, if the celebrity's not really into it, like, it's hard to be like, okay, let's dance. Okay, also let's do social media. Okay, let's do, you know, it's a lot of like asking. When somebody's eager to do it, when they like to do it, because they like to show their side of that, it's so much easier. So it's so easy with her.
You just finished the rehearsal day. Now what's on the rest of your day for today?
So we finished rehearsal. We also had a creative meeting for the next week.
With everybody?
No, just the two of us and like the creative director, costumes, this. So that we try to plan ahead. So did that as well. After this, me and BRIT are doing a little like opening for the troupe. So we're going to choreograph something for this week. So we got to go back and do that. And then I'm just going to prep because tomorrow we have a rehearsal, and by tomorrow night we have to finish the dance. So it's really quick.
Tomorrow you have a rehearsal in the ballroom?
No. In the studio still.
Oh, okay.
But like by tomorrow night, the dance has to be done for everyone. Like it's quick.
Oh, I thought you guys had like 5 days of...
Well, we get rehearsals like up then, but the director needs to see it so he can start scripting all the cameras. So it's like by Thursday night, by the end of your rehearsal, you have to submit your video of your dance.
Let's say the troupe is part of it. When do they come in and start learning it?
Camera blocking. So on Monday morning.
Oh, that last day.
The last day. Yeah. So like we had Steph and Kaylin in the back of her in the very beginning. That literally Monday, the first time we were on stage, they were like, okay, what are we doing? Okay, this is what you're doing. So it's like they try not to, later on when they're more in the dance, I'm sure we'll get like an hour with them. But for now, it's like you get it camera blocking and you do your thing.
And that was the first time she's walking down the stairs.
Yeah, first time in the ballroom. Like she's never been in the ballroom. A lot of people, but she was like, I thought the ballroom was so much bigger. Like it looks massive on TV and it is big, but I guess we're used to it. So we know like everyone else thinks it's so massive.
What does it feel like for you to come back after all that time off? I know you did the tour, but now you're back in the ballroom in front of the TV crowd with the cameras and the lights.
It's crazy. I still get nervous. Like it never goes away.
The night before you're stressed out?
The night before, the day of, today, tomorrow. You're stressed kind of the whole time. But it's like a great stress. You know, it's like I'm not like, ooh, I'm miserable. I'm like, oh, I'm having the best time of my life. And I get to do this. And it's competitive. And it's like hard. And you got to work hard. And then you get a great payoff. But it's stressful.
Once the cameras start rolling for the show, do you know when you're performing in that lineup? Or is that a surprise?
On Monday. So when we do the camera blocking, when we get there.
Okay. So they're like, this team, this team, this team.
Yeah. That's when we know like what the order of the show is.
I picture that being the most stressful part as well, because now you're just anxious and you're waiting.
Oh, I mean, yes. Sometimes it's, going last is hard because you have to watch 2 hours and you're tired. But also like going first is hard because you're the first one up. So like it really, everyone's different. Every dance is different, but it does matter where you go.
Do you have a preference?
No, not really. Not anymore. Like I used to be like, oh, going last is great. But then like the more you went last, you're like, oh my God, it's like 6:30. We still haven't danced yet. We tape it at 5 p.m. And it's like an hour and a half of you just standing there like clapping for everyone. And it's tiring. So you're like, okay, now I got to get energy and warm up again. But yeah, I don't know. I think because voting is live from top to bottom of the show, it doesn't matter when you go. I think it used to. Now I don't think it does.
Do you know what you have to work on with Ilona after last night's performance?
Yeah, I think, again, this show is about getting better. It's not about being the best and staying the best, although it's great to see great dancers. It's about growing and getting better. We're going to try to work on just getting more comfortable and, just having fun with the dancing. She did a really good job. And for somebody that's never danced before, it was amazing. For somebody that even has danced before, it's great. Like you never know what you're going to expect until it happens. And I'm very proud of her.
Do you think that she has one of the stronger connections with the female audience?
I hope so. I think so. I think she is very empowering and that definitely resonates. I don't know what the audience thinks. You never do. Like we don't get to see votes, so we don't know. But I hope.
I think it's so cool that it is a competition show, but there's really no competition amongst everybody together. Everyone's so friendly and supportive of each other. Oh my God,
yeah.
It's insane.
Except for Riley. No,
hey, there is one person.
No. She comes here a lot. So Riley, be nice. No, okay. Everyone is so supportive. Like, it's insane.
Is that the dance world? Or is that just the show?
I think it's Dancing with the Stars. Like, everyone's supporting each other. Everyone wants each other to do well. I can't explain it, but everyone's just so happy, from the crew to the stage managers to the dancers to the makeup, hair, wardrobe. Everyone really loves it. And like, it is a very close-knit family and everyone is just so supportive. Like, you never really encounter anyone that's rude to each other.
I think it goes back to what you just said, is that the show's about you getting better.
Yeah.
You're not really trying to beat the competition.
Yeah.
You're just trying to improve.
Yeah. I think what's important is, because maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like the judges, when they judge somebody, they're judging them based off of their experience, not directly comparing to somebody. Like, they're not comparing Dwight and Steven. Maybe they're comparing Dwight to what they think Dwight can do and what Steven can do. I think. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm not a judge. I'm hoping. I think it's all about each person's individual journey.
Do you think the judges were fair with your scoring and with the feedback?
Yeah, I honestly, I think the judges are there to help us. And, they want to see everyone improve as well. They're not out there trying to make somebody feel bad. They're going out there to make somebody better. Because at the end of the day, being better, growing a little bit, that's all that matters.
What do you think Ilona brings out in you that we haven't seen in the past seasons?
I know she brings out my on my less serious side. We have a lot of fun together. I can't help but laugh. She says whatever she's thinking, and it's fun, and I like that carefreeness.
Are there any comparisons of qualities that Ilona has with Hannah Brown?
I think they're both competitive. I think Hannah was great too. Like, she really wanted to do well. I think Ilona has that competitive nature. She really wants to do well.
Did Hannah have eyes on the prize the whole time?
I think so. I really, when I'm with my partners, I try to take it day by day, week by week. Like, it's so important not to get ahead of yourself and after week 1, not be like, if we keep doing this, we'll get I think it's so important. Just let's take one day at a time. Let's do one dance at a time. Let's not really jump the gun and think, what am I going to do 4 weeks from now? Because let's just get to there. So Hannah was really good with that as well. We took day by day. We did, it wasn't like after the first dance, oh, it's so good. What are we going to do for the freestyle? It was like, okay, this is great. What are we going to do next week? What are we going to try to do next week? I think each week, especially this time, I'm going to try to just do something special each week, to try to get better in one area for this week. Next week we can do this, but it's impossible to think, oh, we did this. Next week we're going to be completely different people. It's just about those little growths, 1% a day.
Where do you keep your mirror ball trophy?
Oh, I have it right in my main.
It's in my car.
Yeah,
it's on the dashboard.
It's actually right here. I have it in my living room area on a shelf. I also won the juniors with Sky Brown. I have that one on the other one.
That's so cool.
Yeah. Not a brag, guys. I didn't really do anything. Sky Brown won that one.
You've also danced with Paige Van Zandt.
Yeah.
Another highly physical athlete.
Yeah.
Do you notice similarities in her and Ilona in the way that they dance and that?
So Paige had a lot of dance experience as well. She was I think she grew up dancing. But it's funny. I think you can get inspiration from past contestants, but I really don't try to compare somebody to somebody else. I think everyone's an individual. They're themselves, and it would be a disservice to be like, hey, watch Paige and try to be her. Like, to me, I'm like, Ilona, you are Ilona, be Ilona. And we'll work on things to get better at this and this. But the beauty of you is you, not trying to be somebody else. So I think you can get some inspiration from others, but to me, it's staying true to yourself.
What do you think your biggest strength and weakness is as a pro?
I care too much. No, honestly, I care a lot. I don't just care about, truthfully, I care about my partner more than I care about myself. Like, I want my partner to go out there and just feel good. And so sometimes I'm like, oh, let's work a little bit harder. We don't need to take a break. Let's just do it. Because then you're going to feel good. Sometimes I forget, let's enjoy it as well. But I think I'm getting better at that because I realize it doesn't have to be a struggle to get a good result. And I think growing up, for some reason, the more I struggled, the better the result was. And now I think it's, hey, let's enjoy the process. And in enjoying that process, we can enjoy the results as well. So I think I definitely got better at seeing big picture.
How do you think you've grown in the past 9 seasons?
Oh, a lot.
Like what? What did you need the most improvement on?
On confidence in myself, trusting my own abilities. And if I ever got frustrated in the past, it was never at my partners. I think it was more frustrated with myself that I couldn't communicate. And so I definitely learned how to communicate better. And realized that my frustrations were, how can I make sure she understands what she's doing better? Not, oh, she's not doing it right. And I just never communicated that across well. Now I understand what it is. And so I'm able to be like, okay, let me take a second. If you're not getting it right, it's not because you're not doing a good job. It's because I'm not doing a good enough job teaching you. Let me rephrase it. And so I think that was a main thing. Like realizing that, first of all, A, it's going to be okay. B, communication's everything.
How long have you been dancing for?
Oh, man. I think I started when I was 7. And that sounded a lot better when I was younger. Now 23 years sounds crazy.
Were you always just so passionate about it?
I was definitely over passionate. Like, I probably wasn't even good. I just was like, oh, I love this. I'm going to give it all my love. And yeah, I would say I'm extremely passionate about it. And it's like, I feel so lucky. I feel so grateful because I never thought, oh, I can make a career out of this. I can make a living out of this because it's just so fun for me. Even when it is stressful, it's fun. When I go out and perform, it's like the best feeling in the world. When you finish a dance and the confetti's going off and you're like, we just did that. Like, there's no better feeling. Like, it's insane.
How does it compare to the tour?
Great question. It's completely different, yet it's very similar. There's no stress on tour.
Because if you mess up, it's fun.
You just mess up. Yeah, you just have fun. It's awesome to connect with the audience. Like, when you're on tour, you look out and you make eye contact with one person and like you have the ability, and it goes both ways, to like change someone's life. Like if I'm ever having a bad day and I'm on tour and I just go out there and like make eye contact with somebody, I'm like, oh my God, like this is what a blessing. Like I get to do what I love. This person is spending their hard-earned money to watch me do what I love. I want them to have the absolute best experience. Like I want them to just leave feeling like, oh my God, that was as crazy and as like stupid it sounds, but it was like life-changing in a way. Like I hope they leave better and in a good mood, even though it's just dance.
If somebody wanted to take the same path as you, what would they do to get to the level you're at?
Don't.
It's too much work.
Too much. No. I think I tell this to a lot of people. If you want to dance and you're passionate about dance, just dance. Don't like try to get a end goal. Don't dance when you're 10 years old and be like, I'm gonna be on Dancing with the Stars. That's a great goal, but I think it's more important to do it because you love it, not because you're trying to reach something. So like, and that goes for anything in life. I think if you want to dance, if you want to sing, if you want to be a movie star, do it for the right reasons. Do it for yourself, not for what you think you're going to get out of it. I think. So I would recommend, if you want to dance for yourself. Do it because it makes you feel good. Do it because you like expressing yourself through your body. But if you're trying to get a job out of it, like there's like anything in LA especially, there's going to be a lot of rejection. So like at the end of the day, if you're dancing to get on a show and you don't get on the show, you don't want to feel like, oh, I wasted all this time. I wasted my life. No, you want to dance because you love it. And then if something good comes from that, then something good comes from it as well. But if it doesn't, you're still happy.
Is the show what brought you out to LA?
So I did So You Think You Can Dance. And then I went on the show called Burn the Floor. It's like a world tour. I came back and I was like, okay, I really want to be on Dancing with the Stars. I love it. It just seems like a perfect fit. I lived in LA. I was like, I grew up in Minnesota. I was like, I'm moving to LA. My parents are like, no. I was like, let me just go out there for 6 months.
That's every parent's reaction.
They're like, no, go to school.
We don't know anybody there.
Yeah, literally. Like, what are you going to do? I was like, just give me 6 months. Let me try it. Like, I'll regret it if I didn't try it. I worked a little bit in like dancing on other shows. I did Glee for a second, some other stuff. And then I got my interview for Dancing with the Stars, and it was still there.
Was that just a casting?
No, because I came from So You Think You Can Dance. I think they like saw me. They're like, hey, come in for an interview, see if you're good on camera. see if you're good at dance. And I was okay. Wasn't the best. No, I'm kidding. I had a lot of fun. So I kind of didn't put a lot of pressure on it, even though it was my dream.
What style of dance do you think is your best?
I think I'm really good at like an Argentine tango. I really like the paso, jives. I'm good at like the Latin and the ballroom. I wouldn't say something's my best. I think there's definitely other people that are better. And so like I really enjoy dancing the Argentine tango though, because there's a lot of lifts in it, and like the passion is so much of the center point. But I feel like I'm a very strong partner. So I like doing lifts. I like, being there for my partner. And so the Argentine tango is awesome.
And you mentioned before that we're going to get some lifts coming up.
Yes, but we're not doing the Argentine tango. Not yet.
You went through a really cool body transformation recently.
Yeah, I did.
That was really inspiring.
Cool. Thank you. I mean, I really, I did carnivore diet for a second. I know that was probably like a big fad.
Is that what got you into shape or out of shape?
Into shape.
Oh, okay.
So I finished the tour and I just felt like, first of all, on tour.
Is it hard to work out on tour?
No, like I worked out every day, but for some reason I was just like gaining weight, and I was like, this doesn't make sense. Like I cut out all processed sugar and I was still gaining weight. I was like, I'm dancing, like I'm burning like 3,000 calories on the show, working out, eating healthy. I was like, something just isn't right. And I just needed like a reset. I saw a TikTok video about like Alzheimer's and like mental clarity, and they're like, you need animal fat. So I was like, oh, let me do that. Let me try carnivore diet. And I did it for like a few months, and I lost a lot of weight, and like I felt great. I don't recommend anyone to do anything, like consult your doctors. I don't know. I'm not a nutritionist, but I found that it really did help for me.
And that's what got you so ripped.
That's what made me lose weight. I was going to the gym every single day. I had a personal trainer, and then I started like counting calories and like introducing vegetables and fruits back. So then I was just like on a very strict, like in the morning I'll have eggs and turkey bacon, maybe cottage cheese. I'll have some Greek yogurt, some fruits. For dinner I'll have chicken, sweet potato, spinach, lettuce, and cucumber. Like I was like eating. And I think it was just more of like I was so active and still putting in good nutrients. No candy. Like I really cut out all that stuff.
Is that one of your vices?
Oh my, I'm a snacker. I don't need to eat a meal.
Is the catering at dancing crazy?
It's amazing. But like I used to be like, give me a bag of chips and some candy and I'll be good. Like I don't need chicken or a steak or that. It was like, give me Doritos, give me this, give me that. I'll pick a little here, give me a protein cookie. Now I'm like, okay, let me get some chicken breast.
Was it hard for your body to accept those foods back into your diet after you took them out for so long?
Yeah, I definitely got bloated. Like I would get like really bloated after eating vegetables again. But maybe that's how I always was. I don't know.
Right.
But yeah, no, it was, I think I felt really good, not just physically, mentally I felt really good because I was like, when you achieve something that you set out to, like you feel good. I really like New York City because like you go on a subway and you get somewhere and you're like, I did that. I didn't get lost. And you just feel good about yourself. And I think your vibrations are just on a high. And so like working out and eating healthy and just like feeling good about yourself physically and mentally and getting that mental clarity back, it just makes you feel better and happier.
Did it affect your dancing?
What are you trying to say?
No. Like back on the tour.
No, it didn't affect my dancing. But I did notice once I lost weight, I was like, oh my God, I'm so much lighter. Like I can move quicker. But I never felt like, oh, I was heavy.
Right.
So it was weird. It was a weird feeling.
It didn't affect it in the moment, but.
No, yeah. Now I'm like, it's a lot easier to dance.
Yeah. Do you and Ilona have similar diets now?
Now I like stress eat peanut butter. Like,
oh, you're really hard on the peanut butter.
I didn't eat peanut butter for like months. I only eat like PB Fit or whatever, like PB2.
Yeah.
At Dancing with the Stars, I got like Skippy over there. I'm just like walking to the bathroom, come back with like a spoonful of peanut butter. Yeah, I don't really like follow a diet, Like yesterday after the show, we went out, me and Ilona went to eat, and we went to...
Where do you guys go?
We went to Bakari.
Bakari.
It's on 3rd Street.
Okay.
And it was just
in
like...
Santa Monica?
No, in, right, like on 3rd and Fairfax.
Oh,
Almost.
okay.
Yeah, in West Hollywood. And it was like chicken wings and like, you know, just whatever, Brussels sprouts, whatever. So I'll allow myself to enjoy food.
Did she bring her family and you bring your family?
She brought her sister and agent, I think. My family's not out here, so they didn't come out.
Who comes to show and tell for you guys?
And like the studios?
Yeah.
So for show and tells, it's only like if you're not competing on the show, you can't come to the studios. So like it's with the other couples.
Oh.
So you can't like bring your family. You can do it on camera blocking. Like you can bring like, for example, Riley brought Lindsay.
Yeah, that's what it...
That's on camera blocking day. And like still it's like a closed set. So you can't just like bring random people. So like her sister comes. I don't really bring... Do you want to come?
Yeah, I'd love to.
You can be my friend.
Do you show your rehearsal days to other friends and to get more insight and
Like
opinions?
outside of the show?
Yeah. Or even on the show, like other dancers.
Yeah, definitely out of the other dancers, we help each other. Like today, Jenna and Joey were the only other couple rehearsing in the morning with us. And like Jenna, I was like, Jenna, help me with this. Like, can you come in my room and help me out a little bit?
Like
She's
you needed to help figure out the rest
just
of it?
like just so Ilona could see it.
Oh.
And then and she's like, yeah, only if you help Joey. like we help each other out. Like
Right.
you wanna. No one's like, no, I don't want you to see my dance. I don't want you to. You know, everyone's really like supportive of each other.
And you always cycle through different people in the studio?
So yeah, like you just show up. You don't know what. There's 4 rooms, so 3 other couples will be there. And like you walk in okay, you're in room 4 today. You're in room 3 today. You don't know who else is there.
What's it feel like as the weeks go by and less rooms are being filled?
Yeah, I mean, you notice how right now there's 13 couples still. There's 4-hour blocks, so there's 3 different times. You can be at a 9 a.m., a 1 p.m., or a 5 p.m. And there's only 4 studios, so that's 12 couples. So right now, every room is full all the time, and then 1 outside studio. So like once it dies down, you know, everyone has their favorite room. Later in the competition, you'll be like, I do not want this room. Like there's room 1 is like the small one. It's facing the sun. It's hot. Like if you have a big dance, you really can't dance it in there. And like you walk in there, you're in room 1, you're like, dang. So like you really choose, like when there's less couples, you're like, okay, at least I get my favorite room. But what's nice is like you're walking in between rehearsals, or like you just pop into somebody's room and you just say hi. Like everyone really has fun.
Can we talk about the other couples real quick?
Yeah.
So last night, you're watching everybody perform.
Yeah, for the first time.
Is there anybody's dance routine who you were blown away at their choreography?
Daniela and
Dwight?
Yeah.
What
really good.
What moment stuck out to you?
Honestly, it wasn't even the lift. That was cool. It was the moment where she like did that thing and went right into a dance move. I was like, that is a great transition. I was like, that was impressive. Like, I think, I don't remember exactly what it was, but she kind of like fan kicked over and then went right into like a little side-by-side section. I was like, that was awesome. Really original. Haven't seen that on the show in a while or ever.
How do you think Dwight's going to do going forward?
He is so charismatic.
He captures the audience so well.
He is awesome. And I think there's something so endearing about somebody that is that tall that's like, oh, I'm just going to get low and groove.
It's like he's been in front of a crowd before.
Yeah, it's like he's good at what he does.
It's like he's an athlete.
Yeah, he can handle the pressure. No, it's really great. I think there's so many charismatic people. Reggie is awesome. Doesn't have to do anything, and he's awesome. Like, he's just a sweetheart, you know? He goes in there, he kind of just grooves a little bit. He was doing salsa, though. He was doing his steps. And so, like, to me, I was like, Emma did a great job of not making it too difficult because, again, especially the first episode, you don't know how your celebrity is going to be live. They can even, on camera blocking, they can be one way. On dress rehearsal, they can be one way. Until you know that first show of like, oh, they're going to rush the music a little bit, or they're going to get a little stiffer, or this, or they're going to forget. You don't know until it happens. Now that everyone did their first week, now people will make adjustments, like whether to add a little trick here or make this move instead of this move. It's just, you don't really know until that first show. Like, I think Anna and Ezra, I think he was like, I don't know if you noticed, he like put his hand out and she just walked down.
Was that planned?
I don't think so. I don't know. I'm going to have to ask Ezra because I saw him, and in dress rehearsal, he helped her down. This time she just walked down. I was like, okay.
It definitely caused a moment.
It was a moment.
Was Riley's music sped up a little bit?
No.
That's how she played it in rehearsal?
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know. But by Monday, so our show's on Tuesday, Monday you can't change your tempo.
So
anymore.
once it's in, it's in.
Because we have a live band
And they have to learn it.
They rehearse it at that tempo. So it's very rare that you change tempo on Monday, especially Tuesday. But maybe they did. I don't know anything else. I'm worried about me.
Whose set did you think was the coolest?
Phaedra.
Why?
She had the whole traders and like the, what is it called? The armor people. It was really cool. And the gates.
When they have some stuff planned like that, even like the giant Rubik's Cube.
Yeah, the Rubik's Cube was awesome.
Is that the dancer, and are they pushing that to the producers? Like, we want this?
Sometimes.
Or is it kind of a team effort?
Sometimes it's a team effort. Sometimes the pros can go in and be like, hey, I want this. Sometimes the celebrity will be like, hey, can we do this? And you're like, yeah, I love your ideas. Like, it's great. And then sometimes the producer's like, hey, this is what we're doing. And it fits. Like, Ilona had the giant lips, and she's like, I love it. Like, when she plays rugby, she wears lipstick, and like it's very on brand. And I think the producers were like, hey, we have giant lips. Do you want to use them? She's like, yeah.
Right. Dwight had the basketball.
Yeah, like the basketball.
Anna had the...
I don't think that was her choice. I don't think the producers...
She brought that really cool ankle bracelet.
She brought that one from home. No.
Oh, that's it.
No, but it's, it's like everyone... We're allowed to pitch our creative. Sometimes it doesn't work out. Sometimes it does.
When do you see the final wardrobe? When's that done? The day before?
Monday. Yeah, the day before.
Oh, wow.
The first time we ever dance in it, though, is 2 hours before the show. So we only get the costumes for dress rehearsal.
Have you run into an issue in the past 9 years where the outfit...
So my first season, I was with Debbie Gibson.
Oh, on the first season happened?
Yeah, but she was dealing with Lyme disease.
Oh.
And that's such, like smells. And so the rhinestone glue really affected her. And so when she tried it on, she's like it's really affecting me. They changed dresses. And so they were like, we'll give you a dress without rhinestones. Because it was really affecting her. And she was awesome about it. Like, it wasn't like, I'm not going to wear it. It was like, it made sense why she couldn't. But it was just like, I don't know what to do.
Does that put a crazy amount of stress on you?
No. Yes and no. Everything puts stress on us, but the wardrobe team is unbelievable.
I mean, they seem it.
Unbelievable. Like, there's a lady, her name is Daniela. She's in charge of the girls. There's a guy named Steven. He's in charge of the guys. Everything is handmade, like, for that week.
Where does it go afterwards?
So Steven designs them for the guys. There's a guy named Mr. Garo. He's been doing the show forever. Has a little shop in Koreatown. And so we go to Koreatown, and on Friday, it's a brand new shirt and pants. And you go there, you try it on. They make a few adjustments, but he like knows your body. Like, you walk in after like the first week, before the first week, after the hiatus. He's like, okay, you got smaller or you got bigger. He's like, Alan, you lost weight? I'm like, yeah. He's like, but you got bigger up top. I'm like, thanks for noticing, Caro. But it's just funny.
That's the best compliment.
It's hilarious. But yeah, they make the costume wardrobe department is insane. They rhinestone every rhinestone by hand. Like, every rhinestone that you see, which is hundreds of thousands of them every week, by hand.
And you guys kind of have a say in how you want it to look and the color palette of what you're going for.
Yeah. My big thing, again, is like, what is my partner comfortable in? What colors do you like? What colors don't you like? And I don't care what I look like. It's not about me.
You're the accessory.
Yeah, I'm there to just make you shine. So I'm never going to be like, hey, I like this color. Like, I don't care what I look like. It's more about what makes you the most comfortable.
How long? It's a time crunch, obviously, because it's live and it's a set day. How, for those camera blocking, how long do you get to make sure that it's set?
You get 3 takes, and the camera blocking is more for the cameras. It's hard, like, until you see it, there's like 28 cameras or something. There's one guy, it's called Steadicam, where he runs across the floor. He has to do that for every dance. He has to know when to go. So like, there's so much choreography of the cameras.
And then things going off in the background.
Yeah, and like it might seem like, oh, it all happens itself. No, somebody's in charge of something. Whether it is the pyro happening on specific lyrics, whether it's this camera guy going here, and when you look, it switches to that one. So the director has such a hard job. And I think the Steadicam operator has such a hard job because he learns every single person's choreography and is like, okay, when they do this move, I have to run around this way. Like, it's a lot of work.
At what point do those pyros come into play for your dance? When
camera blocking, we do 3 passes. The first pass is your first time doing it. They just try to get the cameras good. They make a few changes with the cameras. Second pass, same thing. By the third and final pass, they're like, okay, this is what your pyro is. But they just do like a little bit. They don't do the full effect.
So you go into it not knowing if there's pyro or not?
In the creative call, so like the week before we talk about it, but like you don't really pay attention. It's like, is there confetti? Yeah, cool, okay.
It's so far away.
And you're like, that's next week. I'm not going to worry about that yet.
There's so much to think about.
Yeah, I used to be like, so we used to, in the previous seasons, if you made it through, so the show used to be on Monday. If you made it through the show on Monday, Tuesday morning, you would get your song for that week. And you would do the creatives then. So it was like last minute.
Oh, you didn't have that extra week?
I know. And they were like, why are we making it so hard on everyone? Even creative, like, because then they have to try to find a car in 3 days, as opposed to like they get a week in 3 days. So everything is just more like you get a little bit more time. But I would never choreograph until I knew I was safe.
Oh, really?
Like Monday night, I'm safe. The show's finished at 7 o'clock. You do press till 8. At 9 o'clock, I'm in a studio choreographing for the next morning. Because I was like, I don't want to jinx myself for some reason. Stupid. It was so much harder. It would have been nicer to just prep a little bit earlier.
So have you switched that now?
Now I prep a little bit earlier because I'm like, I'm not going to teach until this dance is done. But like in my mind, like, okay, now I have to start thinking about next week's dance, even though we haven't done this one yet.
It's so cool to see how everyone works it. Because I had Riley, I had Ezra. So you have week 3 already?
I have this song. I know what I'm doing.
You already have your routine figured out for the most part?
No.
Oh.
No. I probably in the next few days, I'm going to go to the studio and start prepping it myself. But like, again, it's one of those where every dance is so different. And you don't want to do something you've done before. So like, I like to go into the studio first, listen to the song, write it out, see what I want to do somewhere before I watch videos. Like I don't want to see something and be like, ooh, I like that. Let me put that in. Cause I probably did that already.
Is that challenging for you at this point?
Yes and no. I think sometimes you forget what you've done and you're like, ooh, this feels so good. And then you watch it back. You're like, I did that already. That's weird. No wonder I did it because it felt so good. But again, I want Ilona's journey to be Ilona's journey, not anyone else's. So like, I don't want to take somebody else's dance or something that I've even done before because I'm like, I want this to be about her.
Do you see people like Ezra this season or Riley last season and have memories of you during your first season?
So I had a weird experience. My Max got injured when he was dancing with Heather Morris. So my first time choreographing was that season before I was even a pro. And my first dance I ever did was we did a tango to Toxic and it was awesome. And it was like my first time choreographing something myself. And I had Heather Morris, who is a phenomenal dancer. So it was almost like show us your best routine. And it went so well. And then I was like, oh my God, like, I like this. This isn't like the scariest thing. It's a lot of pressure, but as long as I prepare, I'm good. Then it's like, okay, everyone's creative process is completely different. You know, Riley's sister, Lindsay, was, she could hear a song and like in her mind choreograph the whole dance. Like in like 5 minutes. And we call her Captain Obvious because she finds the absolute best move in the quickest amount of time. Like we always have as a running joke with her, like Captain Obvious, because she makes the best decision the fastest. It's insane. She's like, oh, don't do that, just do this. And we're like, oh my God, that definitely works. It's crazy.
So you're one of the few people who aren't from Utah.
No.
Were you aware of people before, like in the dance scene?
Yeah, so again, I grew up in Minnesota, and I did ballroom dancing. I was competitive. We traveled a lot. And there was always like those Utah couples that were so good. Then once I kind of came out to LA, or even on So You Think You Can Dance, like we knew that like the Utah couples are not only amazing in ballroom, they are incredible at everything else. And I didn't do anything but ballroom growing up. So I only did ballroom, and then I went on So You Think You Can Dance. I think in the audition round, I did hip hop, and I was like, oh my God, I am the worst dancer that's ever existed. And so like after the Vegas week, I made it past the round somehow. Pure passion. Again, pure joy. They probably saw my face and they're like, he thinks he's killing it. He thinks he is crushing it. Let's get him. Let's see what else he can't do. But then after like the auditions, there's like a little waiting period before you come back and find out if you're on the show. I took classes. I was like, I need to get better. Didn't work. No. It's funny. Like ballroom dancing is so different than contemporary and jazz and hip hop. People like Brandon, Ezra, Riley, Jenna, Whitney, I'm missing BRIT, like they're so good at other styles as well. Like Jenna was the champion in ballroom, and I think she was like on conventions and like the best dancer. Like she's a phenomenal dancer. Like it's insane.
Do you get super jazzed when you find out you guys are going to be doing a big group dance together?
It's fun. You know, for those group numbers, we have one rehearsal Friday at 6:45 in the morning.
And we have to be done by 7.
And yeah, we're done by 9:45, and then people start rehearsals at 10 a.m. with their couple. So it's like you get 3 hours. So that opening number that we saw, we had 3 hours. And it's like the choreographer is always incredible. You know, sometimes we get to choreograph it, sometimes they have outside choreographers. But when we're all there together, we're like kids, like just having fun. You know, we get to dance with each other, but it's like, okay, there's no stress. We're not being judged. Again, it's just go out there, have fun, and do a cool dance.
Before you said something about how as long as you know your routine, you're confident, you're excited about it. And that's kind of how I feel about doing podcasts and interviews. There's only so much I can ask in so much time that I hit a certain point where I'm like, okay, this is it.
Yeah.
Did you and Ilona get to that point?
Oh, yeah, I know what you're saying now. When you're rehearsing, sometimes you don't want to over-rehearse.
Right.
You don't want to because then you start getting in your head and it becomes worse. So it's going to be really interesting because I don't know how everyone was. We had a lot of time in the first 2 weeks, I guess, a little less than 2 weeks. And now we only have 5 days. It's like, how are people going to cope with that huge, drastic amount of time? You know, from 10 days to 5 days and you're performing it.
You say 5 days, but I really say it's 3.
Today, you don't even get a full day. Today's Wednesday. Wednesday, by Thursday, you're supposed to know your dance. Friday, you're like, okay, running it maybe to music, and cleaning it. Saturday and Sunday is like, okay, we might have to start the next week dance just so you know a step, but we're dancing it. By Monday, you have to have it perfectly. Like when you're there on Monday doing the camera blocking, you're not changing anything. So so you get Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 5 days to okay, I can perform this now. Because on Monday, you got to perform it.
Is it hard to get back into that routine of just go, 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 go? By week 8, are you way better at it than in week 2?
Well, A few things. I think the celebrities understand how to learn, because again, if they've never danced, like
Now they have this whole arsenal.
now
in their
they kind
pocket.
of know, like, oh, I know this move already. Ooh, I know this move. Okay, if I just learn it this way, then yeah. So that becomes easier. We know what our celebrities can do better. There was one season we pre-taped juniors, and that was from like July till August, and then we started August for the main season 27, and I won juniors. Subtle flex. I won juniors. So I did every dance, and then I made the finals season 27, and by the end of it I was like, I think I made like 28 dances, and I was like, what was I like? You kind of get out of it and you're like, what a whirlwind. Like how was that even possible? And then, it's just, again, you don't really think about it because you're having fun. So like I like getting a new song, going to the studio, trying to create something, trying to be different, trying to make a new dance, trying to find something that's going to stand out. But yeah, I wish there was 2 seasons a year, just because then you keep doing it. I love it.
Do you think there'd ever be an all-pro season?
An all-pro, like an all-star season or
Yeah.
what? Well, they did one before.
No, sorry, like all pros.
Oh, all pros?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think people like the celebrities and like learning something new about them.
Right.
Because then like the all pros is like basically like, so you think you can dance, or
Right.
like World of Dance.
What if there was the all-star season?
All-star season I think would be good.
You'd have to come back.
Yeah, I would love to come back. I also think they should do 2. They should do like the best people, and then like the people that did not do well, and like see like a redemption season.
Right.
Like the only champions come back. I'll be there. And then like the people who got eliminated week 1, and see who can be the best of them.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of things we can do.
When I saw the height difference of Daniela and Dwight, I was just so blown away. It's almost like 2 feet. It might even be 2 feet. Does that work in her favor or against it, or you can kind of tweak it?
Okay, so Daniela is incredible. So she can like manage it. I think it's not easy. Lindsay did it as well with Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. He was the tallest. I think he was 7'2".
Oh.
And like Lindsay did something really funny where like she was on Haley's shoulders doing the salsa with like a really long dress, and then at one point like you open the dress and you see that she's on somebody's shoulders. Like I think there's really like certain people are that creative. Daniela is definitely that creative, where she makes it work and she doesn't just survive, she thrives in like that challenge.
It lets her get to a different level.
It lets her do something just different than what you would expect. Right. And so I think that is a benefit. It is definitely a lot harder. When they're going to get into frame, he's going to have to bend his knees. It's going to be very unorthodox, because how else, like he's not going to be hunched over. So it's better for him to just bend his knees, but it's going to be hard. It's going to be different and it's a challenge, but Daniela is so good with it.
You're 6 foot, Ilona, and you guys are pretty much the same height, right?
I'm taller.
Is she wearing a certain heel during rehearsals?
No, she's wearing her heels. I don't wear my shoes during rehearsals just because.
Because does the height even affect with training when you're doing that?
No.
Not really?
No. If she was taller than me, maybe that would affect it, but I'm still taller than her.
Do you guys rugby yet?
No. Hopefully we'll make it in a few weeks if we get there. Yeah. Knock on wood. Please vote for us. Then I think she'll take me out and tackle me. She's fast. Have you seen her play rugby? She is fast. Like scary fast. Like if she was coming at me, which she will be, I'm going to be scared. Like she's got speed.
Have you held her medal yet?
Yeah. It's really cool.
That's sick.
It's really cool.
If breakdancing came back in the Olympics, would you compete?
No, I can't breakdance.
No?
I can maybe do like 3 moves. I wish. Breakdancing's awesome. I feel like Steven could be in the Olympics for breakdancing.
Oh, definitely.
His flares are awesome. Yeah, the medal's cool. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think it's the first rugby medal for U.S. Olympics in like 100 years.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah, like it's really in men's or women's.
I have some fan questions. Can we just fire through them?
Fire through them. Hit me.
Who is Alan's dream celebrity for Dancing with the Stars other than Ilona?
Honestly, Ilona's a good one. Other than that, Jennifer Love Hewitt.
Just a fan?
Just a fan.
How does Alan prepare for show day?
I freak out a lot. I look at Crafty a lot.
I get M&Ms.
I literally like walk around. I light a candle. I'm just chilling in my trailer. I'm a spaz. Like I get spastic.
Are you in the trailer by yourself?
Yeah. Everyone gets their own trailer.
But you don't want to prep with Ilona or anything? Like,
oh, well, like during the day, like you go hair and makeup with everyone. Then you go and run your dance 2 more times. And like you do your thing. You film TikToks. But like throughout the day, I'm like sitting in the room like, oh God, it's happening.
For 9 years this has been going
For
on?
9 years.
Alan seems to be in great shape. What is his favorite Olympic event he would compete in if he could?
If I could. Ooh. Listen, I really like boxing.
Really?
Yeah, I love.
Do you train?
I do boxing, not like professionally. I would love to do a celebrity boxing match though. Like against somebody else who has never boxed.
Call him out. No, I can't.
Don't call out.
Mike Tyson.
It's got to be somebody from a different show that's never boxed either. Because I don't want to get hit in the face.
Do you get to suggest celebrities to try and get on the show? How is each pro selected for the celebrity?
Good questions. Yeah. If you bring a celebrity that is a good fit for the show, you can be their partner, like if they ask for you. I think a big thing is height. So they definitely select height partnerships, like when they're partnering people. Like,
oh, that's a big conscious decision.
Yeah. Height is a major one because, you know, you don't want the girl to be taller than the boy.
Has that ever been done?
No, but like one season I was with Sky Jackson and she was like 4'11" and I'm 6 foot, so it was like a big difference. But like, it's never been the opposite way around. And then they want personalities to match. Like they want everyone to have the best partner fit.
Have you ever put anybody out and you got them?
No. I've never brought anyone.
What's Alan's favorite thing about being dance partners with Ilona?
Honestly, that like we're just ourselves. Like rehearsals are fun.
That's one thing that's really transparent.
Like it was really funny. There was a moment in the skybox. Like I went for a high five and she chest bumped me.
Yes.
And I was like, like we're just like unapologetically ourselves, and that's fun. Like rehearsals, even when we work hard, like we're still enjoying it. Like it's I don't know. It's just I'm not used to that, so it's a very awesome feeling.
What's the biggest thing you've learned from teaching so many different women how to dance?
I think the biggest thing is like treating everyone as themselves, as individuals. Don't assume something. Just, you know, and I think it goes for in general, treat everyone like a human. You know, be compassionate, be accepting, and just understand that everyone's learning throughout this journey.
The next one is, how would you describe your teaching style? But I feel like that's it.
Yeah, now it's like I want everyone to feel good about themselves. Before I was like, you guys got to be the best. Now I'm like, no, you just be yourself. Be good. We're learning something, but at the end of the day, I just want you to be yourself.
This is such a cool interview.
Aww.
Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much.
Guys, vote for Alan and Ilona.
Yes,
Get
please,
them to the next week.
Please.
What's the phone number?
You're going to text Ilona to 21523 10 times.
10 times.
Please. And also go on the website.
Every Tuesday night.
Guys, I'll get a tattoo of 21523.
It's happening.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Lightweights out. That was
Lightweights
so good.
Yeah?
Yeah. Thank you so much.